Introducing the new Blackshape Experimental Exhibition. And guess what is included?
MT hydraulic prop, 915 Dynon Avionics.
Ooh, that's new, so let's...
Go!
Chutes come standard. Then you're in.
Did you make it to Lakeland, Florida, Sun and Fun? Well, we did. So did this Blackshape Prime VLOS. It just arrived in the US via Bravo Fox, and we've got the details.
Here we are at Sun and Fun, as they're saying, turn up the fun, 51. 2025, and I don't normally visit these showcases they have before. I think this is on Monday before the show starts, but this lovely woman, Christina here, brought to the showcase some good demo reels of this Blackshape. I'm like, ooh, that's new. Let's check it out. So Christina, just introduce us real quick of what Blackshape is.
Sure. And
your role in the company.
Sure.
And then we'll talk more details, Q&A on this.
Sure, yeah. Blackshape is an Italian manufacturer. They're based in Monopoli, Italy. So
Monopoli?
Yeah, sort of like the heel of the boot in that part of the country, if you're familiar. And they have been designing carbon fiber aircrafts since 2012. So the first plane they designed was actually this plane, but as the 912. This particular plane is the first prime, though, that's ever been in the US.
Okay.
So this is number 71. There's 70 others flying globally, but we have brought it here finally to have, and we are Bravo Fox. And this one is equipped with the 915. So as the company has grown and developed, they keep improving, fine-tuning, and just making the plane better and faster and cooler.
Okay, and just to clarify for everybody at home here, this looks like a certified aircraft, but
Sure.
it's actually experimental.
That is correct, yes. This is an experimental aircraft. There is a sister model to the plane that Blackshape makes called the Gabriel. Those do come in certified. So the FAA just gave their certification for the Gabriel, but in the US, the primes are going to only be experimental unless Mosaic passes.
Okay.
So right now the plane is stalling at around 58, but we will be able to modify the plane if needed on the wings if Mosaic has that lower stall speed. So we're really shooting for that Mosaic approval when it's finally approved.
So this is a little bit different of a situation as far as importing. A lot of these we see as an SLSA or full certified. Being this is experimental, so this does show up as a kit, or how would it show up in the US?
Currently it's only factory built, but because there is such an interest in kit building in the United States, we are hoping to have down the line a factory assist program with the factory in Italy. But it has to be experimental because it has, as you can see, RG, constant speed prop.
Correct. It can't be SLSA at the moment, right?
It can't be SLSA. So it falls in that little category now of our experimental world.
Okay, so just to understand how somebody can buy as an experimental, because there's the 51% rule of somebody getting the repairman certificate. Does this become the factory's the first owner, you're the second owner, and then the person who buys becomes the third owner?
So how it works is you order from the factory, they send it to you. There is essentially no ownership from the factory. You become the first owner, and you cannot do, because you have not done the 51%, you cannot sign off your own annuals. But because it is experimental, if you have that relationship with your A&P, you can do a lot of the legwork for your annuals or other maintenance work, and then that A&P can sign off for the plane. But you yourself at this point cannot, sign.
Okay, so let's go back to the design and construction of this for a minute. It is 100% composite, and composite, by that we mean carbon fiber?
Yes. And it's not just a carbon fiber, it's carbon fiber done in an autoclave process. The risk with wet layering that you can run into is just to get kind of like micro fractures over time. This, for carbon fiber, will not do that. It'll hold that integrity.
All right, so it is carbon fiber in an autoclave process.
Yes.
is this, I've seen different styles, different ways of making wings. Is this all one wing that gets bolted up to the belly, or is it a left and a right and then
Yeah,
joined?
so there are attachment points just off. There's a little extension off the fuselage. So the fuselage is basically one piece, one mold, and then the wings are very easy to attach and detach. So
they are two separate, left and right.
They're two separate.
It's not one wing bolted up.
Correct, and
Okay.
you just slide it in to the bolts, and you're really just screw on, and you're good to go. So when it comes delivered, very easy to assemble. It'll come in a crate, and you just take it out of the crate, you put the wings on, and you're ready to fly after, of course, all your registration and good stuff.
So this is designed around the 915. Obviously, the 916 has come out, so I assume that it will be fitted with that as well. Is there a new cowling that has to be designed to be able to fit the 916?
Currently, it looks like this cowling is working with the 916. If there's any modifications that need to be done, will be minimal, because they actually redesigned the cowling from the 912 to the 915. So the 912 has just pretty much a flat cowling. If you look at this one, you can already see that sort of raised portion for the exhaust coming out. So the 916 will most likely just fit in the same shape.
Okay. And what the other feature about this that is really unique is that the fact that it's actually a retractable, which we don't see a whole lot out there in experimentals, or especially not light sport at all. And I saw this, we captured you doing a departure, and I forgot, and I saw that gear come up. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's retractable.
Yes.
And it looks so sleek.
Yes.
I mean, it's sleek now, but when that cleans up, it almost looks like a Mustang from the back quartering view of it. So it's a very, very sexy looking aircraft.
Yeah, and with those type of aerodynamic qualities, that's why this plane is fast cruise. You're looking at around 180 knots.
Knots?
Yes, yeah. And the next one coming in is having the extended tanks. So those will give you 34 usable, which means you're looking around 700 plus nautical miles in economy cruise.
Dynon Avionics at Dynon.com, offering everything from state-of-the-art glass cockpit options to advanced control modules that power and control your entire aircraft. Gratia Aero Group at GratiaAero.com, proudly representing these best-in-class brands for experimental general aviation. Sherwings, BD Aviation, and MW Fly. KFA, Kitplanes for Africa, engineered for adventure and built for the bush is their motto, offering several STOL-kit aircraft options like the Expedition, Safari, Bush Baby, and Explorer. Find them online at kitplanesforafrica.co.za. Visit us online at experimentalaircraftchannel.com for all things DIY aviation. And consider supporting us on our Patreon page to help us bring you more original aviation content.
All right, so Christina is going to show us how to open the canopy and get in it.
So you just have this lever that you pull, and then you just lift right up, just like that. And you can enter from the back. If you're the pilot in command in the front, you can go from here. Then super easy. Just 1, 2, and you're in. And so as you can see, and I'm just going to slightly lower the canopy so you can kind of see that slope. You can see that I'm clearly able to see all the way through.
You can leave that down for a second.
Okay.
See, you've got a second, and I can hear you because you were in a wireless. So you've got a second screen in the back to be able to fly, like you said, from the rear, and a single, is that a 10-inch Dynon, 7?
Yep, this is the, excuse me, this is the 10-inch. You also have your flap adjustment from back here, gear, and then, as I was saying, that you can see clearly through all the way. I can see past the cowling totally fine. I have all the same controls, brake, prop, throttle,
okay, hang on a second.
chute.
You can lift it up again.
Yeah.
They can hear you, I can't hear you.
Yeah, sorry. And then, of course, as I mentioned, the plane has a chute. Chutes come standard. The Junkers chute comes standard with every single plane. So there's a pole here and a pole, obviously, at the front. The chute deploys actually from the front right past there on the cowling.
Okay.
And then it has the redundant Dynon unit, but the plane panels are completely configurable. So if you want to go full Dynon, you can. If you want to do full Garmin, which the 916 coming in will have, you can do that. I personally am a Garmin person, but the Dynons have done a great job on their product. There's the fly box. So this is controlling your flaps. Great unit. You can click one at a time to go through each flap, or if you want to jump to say 3 notches, you just click, 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 and it'll transition to those 3 flaps.
So that's how getting into the front seat.
Yes, that was going to get the front.
And nearly the same room, just a little bit less on the back.
Yeah, yeah, and again, even though it's tandem, you know, it's spacious. It really is. I know I'm like a lady, so I'm not necessarily as big, but
being this is powered by a Rotax and this is turbocharged, is there any different startup procedures or warm time for this particular airframe?
Well, you know, it'll fire up really quick. I mean, as you know, there's no carbs, and there's no mag. So what you do is you just, you know, switch your battery. It's a bunch of switches on this one. So you just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then you have your lane A, lane B, which is like your fake mags, if you know Rotax. And then you're just going to hit just the 1, 2 buttons. So you hold and then hold, and the thing will start up. You know, just let it sit for a second. The options for the braking. This one does not have differential braking. The next one will. So this one has the brake lever here, and of course here's your prop lever, throttle. This is your gear lever, so you know,
no differential braking, but then you have a direct steering, I assume.
Exactly, yeah. So next one we'll have the differential, and then for the gear, you'll see those beautiful 3 green lights, and you're good to go. It'll show you, of course, you know, the lights will each light up. So there's a light per wheel, per gear.
Right.
Yeah.
You guys like the Dynon systems?
The Dynon is great. They're really good. As I said, I'm personally a Garmin girl because I've just had training in the Garmin, but I've gotten used to the Dynon slowly, and they make a great product. They really do. And there's some features that Dynon has that Garmin doesn't, and vice versa. So it really is just dependent on what you're looking for. You can't go wrong, honestly, with either.
All right, Christina, let's talk about price point and how to order one and lead times and all the good stuff like that.
Yeah, great. So this one that you're looking at, which has, as I said, that MT hydraulic prop, 915 Dynon Avionics, you're looking at $330 for this plane. And this is sort of like a introductory to the US special. And then the next plane, which has, same thing, they got the MT, but it'll have the 916, it'll have full IFR Garmin with those extended tanks. So it gives you that 700 plus nautical mile range. That one's gonna be pushing close to 4. The reason I say close to is very dependent on how you want other stuff done. So since it's a factory built plane, you like this color, great. You want to do any design you want, that's totally doable. Interiors, we can design a seat. So let's say you're a taller person or you want it a little bit more cushioned, less cushioning. We can do that, as well as different materials, Alcantara, leather, fabric, totally up to you. And then if you don't want the 915 or the 912, the original Prime, which was the first one they built, as I said, has the 912. So you can have the plane with the 912 and everything else, again, configurable how you like. So a lot of options, a lot of choices. We're here to work with you and design a plane that you really love, that fits your needs, and just gets you what you want. So we are located north again of Indianapolis at 5I-4 Sheridan Airport. You can reach us at info@bravo- like the symbol fox.com. You can find us at bravofox.com as well.
Okay, and what is the, so I order one today, what is the lead time and expectations for that?
Sure, so you're looking at around 6 to 8 months from order to delivery. And we can deliver it to you, or you can have it delivered to our facility and then we fly it down to you, or you can come to our facility. Whatever is easiest. The bottom line is when it comes, we will help you put it together, which is super simple. Just put those wings on. And then we want to make sure that when you take control of the aircraft, you're feeling completely confident.
That was my next question.
Yes.
You offer a transition training program.
Yes, so that can be, if you're a more experienced pilot, you feel like you've got it after, say, a day or so, great. But if you need 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, we're here for you. We just want to make sure you feel safe and ready to be a PIC when you leave with the aircraft.
All right, and as far as maintenance, is there anybody that will know this airframe in and out?
Yes, we offer maintenance at our location in Sheridan, but we just negotiated an agreement with Winter Haven Airport here down in Florida as a service center for this part of the country. So anything on the aircraft, anything Rotax, they will be there to help you, and we're so happy to be partnering with them.
Thanks for watching and following along. Consider subscribing right now and run over to join our community on Patreon. Thank you to our co-pilot status patrons Zach Newsom, Mike Babcock, Lynn Gardner, and Gary Martin, and our Patreon team. Editing right now just for our patrons, Jetta and I visit the Florida Air Museum.